Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. I hope you're doing well and I hope you've all had a good week since I last saw you. I gave myself the challenge of reducing my food bill down from £100 a week for 2 people down to £30 a week for 2 people. And I won't lie, it's a challenge. It is a big challenge. But my saving grace is I have a good pantry. I have a good food storage because I've been a prepper for very many years. Probably for about 15 years now, I've been prepping and keeping a good pantry. Much to the disgust of many people around me who thought I was just hoarding food and that I was being fearful and that I wasn't trusting and that my faith wasn't strong enough. I've had so many accusations about it, but really for me, it's just a practical thing. I live in the middle of nowhere. I want to know that if I've got a power cut, if I'm stuck, I can't get out in my car, if the road's flooded, if I'm stuck in snow, if my car breaks down, I'm able to eat because the nearest shops to me is 2.5 miles away, 5-mile round trip. And that's a long way on foot if I have to go and buy a week's worth of shopping. The delivery charge here has gone up to £7 delivery for getting your stuff from the supermarket. And I choose to pick my own fresh stuff myself. And I think if I had to shop on £30 a week, I wouldn't be able to do it because the minimum basket price is £40. So yeah, I did really well this week. I've got lots of goodies to show you. So what I spent in the end was, I'll tell you the figures now and then I'll tell you why when we get there. I spent £32.31 and £7.39 of that was to top back up my pantry. I've been eating things out of my pantry and I need to replenish some of the things that we've been using. So yeah, so £7.39 of that £32 was for my store cupboard and not for my weekly ration. So yeah, I think I did really well. And I've still got stuff left over from last week and the week before. I've still got my milk ration. I've got half of that left from last week. I've just opened a new packet of butter, which I bought last week for my butter ration and didn't use because I was still using the week before. So we don't use a lot of fat in this house at all. I try not to use it if I can because the cows are fed rapeseed meal. So I try my best not to consume it if I can. But yeah, I don't eat a lot of cheese. We've still got a block of cheese that I bought in the new year. We've had it there now for a month in the fridge. And we've still got just over 100 grams left, which is a cheese ration for 2 people on a war ration. So yeah, we've got enough left to keep us going this week into next week. And yeah, if you're a vegetarian, you've got more. I'm not a strict vegetarian. I had chicken yesterday, but I would say 95% of my diet is vegetables and fruits and nuts and seeds. I don't consume a lot of meat at all because I don't like it. It doesn't agree with me. And yeah, so what you're going to see is my budget with just one thing of meat and one thing that we've already consumed, which was the chicken, which we ate yesterday, which I got for free. So I'll turn you around and I'll show you what I managed to get for my £32.31. First off, we'll do the things that I got for free. Because in my local town, 2.5 miles away, we have a food surplus shop. And what they do is they go around the local supermarket, to the Spar, to the garage, and they pick up all the stuff that they're going to throw away. Now, so it is out of date. It has just come up to being out of date, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I got some chicken last night and we had that for our tea. And I've just rooted out the freezer, the other bits that I got. So I'll turn you around and I'll show you what we got for free. Right, so this week I got this British ham. It was already frozen, so I've left it in the freezer. It's a honey roast ham. It should have been £2.65 full price, but reduced £1.33. And then I got it for free. I got these bread rolls, Village Bakery rolls, and they should have been £1.59. I got this nice bread, authentic grain sourdough bloomer. We are going to be having guests in the next couple of weeks and we're going to be having soup. So I thought this might go nice with the soup, homemade soup. And then we've got this as well. It's also from the co-op. It's Irresisti hand-baked rosemary and rock salt Italian bread, and that should have been £2.55, I think that says, and that was free. I got this yoghurt. I got 2 packets of Greek yoghurt, and I got this milk. Last time, little pointed cabbages. So we're going to go on now to the things that I have bought today. I went to Morrison's, and I got these little oranges here, and I think they were 85p each. I got some closed cut mushrooms, which were 71p. Now, there's 250 grams in here, and little sell 600 grams for £1.79. So I thought that was a good deal of £1.42 for 500 grams of mushrooms. So I've got 2 packets of them. What else did I get? I got some parsnips. We're eating them a lot at the moment. So there's parsnips. I got this white cabbage. Yeah, I got that white cabbage, which I thought was really nice. I think that was 75p. I got my yeast for making my bread, because I've been making my own bread with my own stone ground wheat berries. So I've got that. I've got a recipe to come. And I got these 2 bags of carrots, which were reduced to 48p from 65p. And there's a kilo in each bag. So I've got 2 kilos of carrots, because we're eating them every day. So that's them. And then I went to Lidl. Now, some of this is for my pantry. Some of it is to consume. Oh, in Morrison's, I also got 2 jars of honey. One's to use, one's to put in my pantry. They're for my husband for his lunches. A bag of sultanas, they were 95p. We've been using this Greek yoghurt. Now, it's absolutely delicious. It's £1.65 in Lidl. There's a kilo of yoghurt there, and it is gorgeous. It is vegetarian. It does have that gut bacteria stuff in it. So it's been great for our gut. It's been helping us with our digestion. So that's been a real asset. That's £1.65. And then I got some chopped tomatoes, got 2 tins for 35p each. I got some chickpeas, 49p each. I got 2 of them. 2 black-eyed beans. I can make burgers or a chilli or something like that with them. And I got 2 tins of green lentils. So all those beans and lentils were £3, just under. I also stocked up on my pantry milk. I've still got milk from last week, so I don't need to use any of this for my war ration. But this is just to go in my food prep outside, where I keep my food storage. I keep tins and packets and all sorts of things outside in the garage. So I've got 3 of those, just to top up my pantry. So that was included in my £7. I've got these as well. These are living lettuce. They still have the soil on the bottom. You get Lollo Rossa, Lollo Biondo and oak leaf lettuce, whatever they are. So you can separate them and plant them in your soil, and then you've got ready lettuce growing in your greenhouse or your polytunnel. So that's what I'm doing with them. So there's 6 lettuce there, and then you can use them as cut and come again. They were 75p each. For 3 lettuce, so I'll separate them, plant them in the soil in a window box for the time being to keep them out the chickens away. And yeah, we can just harvest the outside leaves and keep cutting them, cut and come again lettuce, and they'll keep us going until the lettuce seeds that I've sown start growing and we can harvest off my own plants. So I've got 9 lettuce plants now for doing that with, because I got 3 last week and I got those this week because they were reduced. Because they were 99p last week, but this week they were 75p. So I was very pleased with that. And then we move on to the fruits and vegetables. I got 2 bags of sliced curly kale because I've been buying the spinach and I pay £1.60 for a bag of spinach, a big bag. It goes off within a day. So I'm completely wasting my money. It goes all soggy, all smelly, all mouldy. Can't use it, end up throwing it away. So I thought I'd try this British sliced curly kale. It is a good green to have in your smoothie. So we've got 2 bags of that. They were 69p each. I got some spring onions. They were 55p each. I got this for the chickens. It's a Savoy cabbage. So I haven't included that in my food bill because that's to go for the chickens. It's not for me. or my husband. We got this cauliflower, nice big head of cauliflower, 99p. We got 6 apples, 99p. I got 2 bags of these easy peelers, 85p. You get 6 in a bag. And I got myself some walnuts because they were 50p off. So all that, including the chicken I got for free yesterday, I've ended up spending £32 and 31p. So £7.39 is for my store cupboard and £24.95p is for our shopping. So that's great. The last thing I got as part of my £32 food haul is all these bananas. I got about 25 bananas in there. There's loads. And they came to about £5 for all them. We have about 2 a day. So, yeah, they're going to go a long way towards our diet. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my food haul. We're going to go in the sitting room now because it's getting a bit warm in here. And I want to show you the books that I got in the charity shop because I got some really good books today. And they were only £1 each. And they're new as well. Doesn't look like they've ever been used. So, yeah, I'm just going to get my cup of tea and then I'll meet you in the front room in front of the window by the garden. So see you in a minute. Right, so we're in the sitting room now. The fire's decided it wants to work and it wants to work really, really hot and it's gone really scorching hot. So yeah, I was very pleased with my shopping bill today, £32.31p, all the way down from £100 a week. I think that's brilliant. I have stopped buying meat because we can't afford it. If I can find it cheap, I can find it free, I will, like I did yesterday. They did have fish yesterday, but it was only 1 packet each, and it was pieces of those salmon fillets, and they're like little matchsticks, and we need 2, 3 of them for us. And it was 1 packet each, so I thought, well, I'll leave them for somebody else. So I got the chicken and I got the ham. So I was very pleased with that. So that's our free. Oh, I got a pasty as well, and I had that for my lunch yesterday. So yeah, I did very well. You have to be careful with the food surplus stuff because I went last week and they said it was free. Take what you want, it's free. So I thought, well, that's great. I can go, I can top up my food. It's not a thing to be embarrassed about because it's not like a food bank or something where you have to go with your cap in hand begging. It's a case of they want you to take it away because they just don't want it go into landfill and they don't want it go into waste. So the whole philosophy is to stop food waste. And I think that's a really good thing because if somebody can use it and it's going to get eaten, then that's much better than it going to landfill. So that's really why I was supporting the project in the first place. But when I went this week, I just filled my bag with my stuff and got my stuff out the fridges. And the woman came over to me and said, do you know about the donations? And I said, no. I knew the one in my other local town where I go to do my weekly shop. They've got one and it's a pay what you think situation where you go in, you pick what you want and you pay what you think it's worth. Now, I don't mind that if it's a good quality food. But the fact that it's out of date and the fact that it's going in the bin, this place I went to yesterday, they want you to pay £5 donation no matter how many items you take. Now, I think that's a bit cheeky. And I had all the stuff in my bag and I was so embarrassed. I was really upset because the woman challenged me after I put the stuff in my bag and I felt like I was shoplifting. And I said to her, last week it was free. Why has it changed? And she said, oh, it's up there on the board. It's a minimum donation of £5. And if you can prove you're on benefit, it's only £3. And I thought, that's a bit cheeky, really, for things that are going in the bin. And the very fact that you have to prove that you're on benefits just so you can have this food that's otherwise going to get thrown away, I think that's really out of order. And I was so upset. I got really upset. I got really embarrassed and I just ran out with the stuff in my bag. And before I went, she said to me, if you come back next week, make sure you bring some money with you so you can make a donation. And I ran out and I thought, the cheek, absolute downright cheek of it. It's stuff that's going in the bin. It's stuff that's otherwise being written off tax-wise, and you're wanting to force people to prove that they're on benefits just so they can have this rubbish. So I was you can tell I'm still wound up by it. I was outraged by it. So if you are going to go, I'm going to go back again, simply because of the principle of the thing, not because I was embarrassed, not because I'm going back with my cap in hand, but for the principle of it. I wrote to them on Facebook. And I got an email, a message back saying, yes, it is free. It is a donation if you want to make a donation. But don't worry about the donation, just come back. So I thought, you know, you've invited me to come back. I'm going to come back and I'm going to take what I want and I'm going to take it for free, because that's what you say on the tin. That's what you say on the door. So if you are going to go, just make sure that you read the small print, because yesterday I felt like a shoplifter. I felt like a criminal. And that's an awful way to make somebody feel if it's food that's otherwise going in the bin. Now, it's different if you walk into somewhere like Co-op or Sainsbury's and you fill your bag and you walk out the door, because you know you've got to pay for it. But it's not clear in this place I went to yesterday. And while I got some good things, and yes, they were free, and yes, it does top up my food budget, and that's what I want to encourage you with. Just make sure that before you go, you're aware of whether you have to pay for it or not, and what their criteria is, because you may get some really, really good stuff. Like I did yesterday, I got chicken and I could have got fish. I could have got some salmon, I could have got some sea bass. So yeah, just make sure you're aware when you go of what the situation is. If you have to make a donation, what that donation criteria is. If it's free, make sure you know when you go that it's free, to save any embarrassment like I had yesterday. I am actually still quite outraged by the whole thing, because I think it was completely unnecessary, completely out of order. I'm choosing to live this way, but for somebody who's got children to feed or is really hard up, I think that for them that would have been really embarrassing and really difficult. And if I found it embarrassing and I'm going because I choose to, somebody who has to go because they need to, that would have been a completely different situation and would have completely demoralised the person that was taking the food. So just be aware of that. This isn't a rant against food surplus. I think they're a really good idea. I think it's a great idea to be able to put food in onto people's tables that's free, that otherwise is just going to go in the bin and get buried in a landfill hole somewhere, never to see the light of day again. And the companies that are giving it away don't lose anything, because it's just a tax write-off and they get the money back. So yeah, it's a win-win for everybody. But as I say, just make sure when you go, you know what the situation is. You know whether you have to donate or not. You know whether you have to pay for anything. You know whether it's for free. And then that'll save you any embarrassment like I had yesterday. So that's my rant over. While I was out shopping today, I also went to my charity shop, which I love to go to every time I go. And it didn't let me down today either. I'll show you these books in more detail in another video, but I just wanted to show you what I got because I'm delighted with them. They were only £1 each and they're going to be really, really useful. The best one I got today was this one. It's the polytunnel book. It teaches you how to grow food in your polytunnel. It says the polytunnel book, fruits and vegetables all year round. That is going to be an absolute asset to me, to my channel, but also for me making the most out of my polytunnel, because it's new to me last year, haven't used it properly yet, and I think this is going to be a great book if you can get your hands on it, to be able to grow food undercover, not necessarily in a polytunnel. You may be able to use some of the tips in a greenhouse. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great asset. So I haven't looked at it yet. So when I've looked at it, we'll look at it on the channel and see how we can implement it into our Digging for Victory Wartime Kitchen Garden. So that's that. The other thing I got, I know it's not a wartime theme, but it's done by the people who did the Wartime farm. And this one is the Victorian farm. And it's Ruth Goodman. There's a lady who commented in the comment section below a couple of videos ago and said, have you seen the Wartime farm? Well, this is the same one and it's called the Victorian farm. Now it's got some really good pictures and articles in there and hints and tips for making things by hand, rustic crafts, all that kind of thing. And that was £1. And you know, it looks like a new book. It looks like it's never been read. So I'm really going to enjoy looking at that. I like Ruth Goodman. I like the stuff that she does. Alex Lands and Peter Ginn, they're great. They've done some lovely historical stuff and I've really enjoyed the things that I've watched. So I'm going to enjoy my book. The other thing I got, and the last thing I got before I go, because this has turned into a longer video than I hoped, is Wildwood Cottage, Hugh Fernley Whittinstall, and it's the Veg Kitchen. Now, I know that I'm eating an awful lot of vegetarian food. I know I'm doing the wartime cookbooks, but I think this might be a great addition as well to help boost my intake of fruits and vegetables, and I can learn to use it with the war rations and be able to come up with some other new recipes that aren't necessarily in the books. He looks very young and very dapper in that picture, doesn't he? So yeah, I remember the very first Wildwood Cottage programme that he did back in 2000 when he first rented out that little tiny house next to the river, and that's where he got the name Wildwood Cottage from. And then he went on to bigger and better things, opened restaurants and all sorts, and wrote books and got married, had kids. So yeah, maybe I'm showing my age a little bit there. Anyway, I think that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed my little Friday special. I'm going to see how many things I can come up with to give you an extra bonus video during the week. Because, you know, I'm just enjoying talking to everyone, and I'm just enjoying doing this channel, enjoying making the videos, and you seem to be enjoying watching them and enjoying the theme that I'm doing in my wartime kitchen garden and getting myself organised for digging for victory. These are my seeds, all nicely growing behind me in the window, getting the full sun, and I'll show you when they start coming up and when I start getting some vegetables. So yeah, I'm going to go. If you have enjoyed my video, do like and subscribe. Do hit that notification bell, and that'll tell you when I upload new videos. If you'd like to buy me a coffee or the girls a treat of some mealworms, do click the link for my Ko-fi donation in the description bar below, and that'll take you to my Ko-fi page where you can buy me a cup of coffee or the girls a treat. Also, sorry, there's just a load of smoke appeared out the window. Also, if you want to follow my blog, that is also over on my Ko-fi page, which is also in the description bar below, where I post my recipes and other bits and bobs that are going on around here for you to enjoy at your leisure. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next video. So take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.